Supplemental math videos from Circle Christian School. Decomposition of rational expressions, bringing it back to the beginning. Decomposition sounds so permanent and somewhat full of lies. I would prefer the word deconstruction personally. Either way, it's about it. Probably been a day or so since you heard the word add-in, eh? What we have is a rational expression. It's just a fraction. It just has x's inside of it. And what you have to do is always begin with the factoring. And here we have an x and an x plus 1. So our two add-ins are going to consist of our common denominator. One of them is going to be x, and the other one is going to be the x plus 1, which we put the a over and then we put the b over. Now, to be able to add these together, what we have to do is have a common denominator. Now, the real way to look at this is that we have to multiply, since it's plus 1, we have to multiply the a by x plus 1, the missing factor there, by an x. So what we end up with, and we're just going to deal with the numerator for most part of this, is a times x plus 1 and the bx. So we distribute things back out, gives us an ax plus an a plus a bx. Put your like terms together, so we end up with ax plus the a, and then do some factoring out of the like terms, which we can take an x out. Now, they like to throw the x at the back, which is fine. I'm kind of for throwing it at the front. Your pick. Okay, now this one's a little bit tricky because we only have one number up top, but since we have two fractions, we know that it was two numbers. So the first one somehow or another gave us a 0, and then of course our 1. So the 0 is going to go with the first set here, while the 1 is going to go with the second set. And that's going to allow us to make a system of equations. So our first system of equations is going to be the a plus the b equals the 0. The guys that are left up front here end up being your constant number, what it equals. And then we have a equals 1. Which makes it kind of a nice and easy system here, because if a equals 1, we know that b equals negative 1. And now we can build our add-ins. The first one, where the a is, would be 1 over x. And then it'd be plus a negative, so we're just going to go minus the 1 over x plus 1. And if you always want to just go check it out, go back to what you do with rational expressions, find the like term, add them, and see if you get the resultant sum. As with the one before, you do factoring within the denominator, so I have an x plus 3 and x plus 1, which is going to give me, because I have two of them down here, we put one of each common denominator, a, and we have the b, x plus 1, and I'm sorry, the x plus 3 and the x plus 1. Doesn't matter if the first one's x plus 1 and the other one's x plus 3. No, the final result will be the same. So don't worry that when you were looking at this that you may have placed it the other way. And so again, we're going to multiply by the other factor, or whatever the missing factor is. and that's going to give us a x plus 1 plus b x plus 3. And we're going to distribute things out and combine our like terms. So we have ax plus a plus bx plus 3b. Okay, putting my like terms together, we have an ax plus the bx, and we have an a plus a 3b. Take our numerator. So we have the coefficients of the numerator. Gotta go find my whiteout, and my page is in the way. Come on. Here we go. Alright, so we have 1 minus the 2. So the 1's going to go to the first set. The negative 2 is going to go to the next. So we have a plus b equals 1, and a plus 3b equals the negative 2. Okay, now we just have to go find a and b. And what I am going to do here is multiply my top one by a negative a. So we have a plus the 3b equals the negative 2. Keep following me here. Minus the a, minus the b, minus the 1. And that is gone. Gives us a 2b equals a negative 3. And therefore, b is going to equal, just so I have some room, b is going to equal a negative 3 over 2. And we're going to throw that back into me, so throw it back into the first one. Circle that. Let's see. A minus 3 over 2 equals the 1, which means plus the 3 over 2. And so a is going to equal 5 over 2. And wishing that I had an eraser that just erased one thing, just like while I'm recording I could and just kind of record over that part. Doesn't happen here. So let me set this up kind of right in the middle space here. That since a is 5 over 2, it's going to go over the x plus the 3. And minus the b, the 3 over 2, which is going to go over the x plus the 1.